Hello everybody, this is Tucker Miller here again, and now you saw me revealed on all the Pixar films and DreamWorks movies. Now it's time for me to review on all the Disney animated films, and it's gonna be a weeing out to Zootopia 2, which will be coming out in November of 2025. This November, so yeah, I'm gonna try my best to go see it. So, yeah, so we're gonna, like I did with the Pixar and DreamWorks movies, I'm gonna review on all the films in order when they came out. So, yeah, starting off, we're gonna review on the very first full-length animated movie, and that will be on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Came out in 1937. So, do I really need to explain the plot? Not really, but I'll explain it anyway. So, plot of this movie is, or Once Upon a Time, yeah, Once Upon a Time. So, plot of this movie is, once upon a time, there's this young princess named Snow White, who was voiced by Adriana Casawati, and she's the fairest one of them all. And then we got the evil queen, aka her stepmother, who asked her mirror who's the fairest of them all, and the mirror said Snow White. And the evil queen is very jealous that Snow White is the fairest one of all, and the evil queen wants to get rid of Snow White, so she sent her huntsman to kill Snow White, but the huntsman didn't want to kill him. Didn't want to kill her. The huntsman didn't wanted to kill Snow White, so the huntsman told Snow White that the queen is jealous and she should run and hide and never come back. So, yeah, Snow White got lost in the woods where she was so frightened, and she became friends with some animals, and then the animals led her to this cottage where the seven dwarves live. So, yeah, meanwhile, Snow White met all seven of the dwarves. So we got Dark, Grumpy, Dopey, Bashful, Sneezy, Happy, and Sleepy. So yeah, all the seven dwarves. So yeah, Snow White and the seven dwarves. Snow White got along with the seven dwarves quite well, and the dwarves said Snow White can stay so they can protect her from the evil queen. So yeah. Yeah, and then so later on, the evil queen decided to disguise herself as an old woman and give Snow White a poison apple. And when Snow White ate the poison apple, well, she got into a deep sleep. And then Snow White, and then meanwhile the prince came and gave Snow White a kiss, and she woke up, and they all lived happily ever after. So that's basically what the plot is. So yeah, I kind of explained the whole story of Snow White, but that's what the plot of this movie is. This movie is based on a fairy tale. So yeah. So now what could I say about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? It is a classic. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is an absolute classic, and it is a great start for Walt Disney Animation. So yeah, like I said, this film came out in 1937, and yeah. Yeah, this film is a classic. You can't go wrong with Snow White. And yeah. Yeah, this film is a classic. You can't go wrong with Snow White. And yeah. Yeah, this film is a classic. You can't go wrong with Snow White. And yeah. Yeah, this film is a classic. You can't go wrong with Snow White. And yeah. Yeah, this film is a classic. You can't go wrong with Snow White. And yeah. Yeah, and yeah, and like I said, this is definitely a good start. It was a great start for Disney animation. So yeah, like now, yeah, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. The animation is really beautiful. The animation still holds up to this day, despite being, despite the animation kind of being pretty outdated, but it is still holds up to this day. It is still beautifully done. And the songs are great, the stories, and so is the story, and very likable characters, and yeah, yeah. This Snow White is a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece. This film has changed. This is one of the movies that really changed movie history. Because, this is the very first full length animated full length animated feature that came out in 1937. And yeah. And I believe this is the very first full length animated feature film in color. But I know is and I think is the very first full length animated feature in general. Yeah, this is the very first full length animated film in history. The first of its kind. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is the very first full length animated film. And also the very first Disney animated film. So, yeah. Now, let's talk about the characters. Snow White. Snow White is a lovely character, and I would definitely have to say, and I really love her singing voice, too. We'll get to the songs in a minute, but I will definitely have to say, Adriana Casawati did a great job voicing her. And all the seven dwarves got grumpy, dark, dopey, sneezy, bashful, happy, and sweepy and sneezy. They're awesome characters. I really love the seven dwarves. They're awesome. They're definitely the show stealer. And the wicked and Snow White's evil stepmother, or the evil queen. She is a really good. She is a really great Disney villain, and I have to say, she is the very first Disney villain. Well, I think the very first Disney villain is actually Pete. Pete from the 1928 short film Steamboat Willie. But yeah, we'll say the Evil Queen is one of the very first Disney villains. She's an awesome villain. So, yeah. And the Prince, who was this character, although he is not in the film that much, he was barely in the movie. He was shown only at the beginning and the very end. But I'll say he's a great character. And the Huntsman is a pretty good character. The Huntsman, again, he's only barely in the movie. He was only in a couple of scenes, but that was it. But the Huntsman was a pretty good character. And the Magic Mirror was pretty cool too. So, yeah. Those are the characters I could think of on top of my head. Or I should say I mentioned all the characters from this film. So yeah, they're all great characters. It has a lot of great characters. Yes. Yeah, now, how about we talk about the songs? Oh, there's so many great songs in this film. Was I I'm wishing one song. Yeah, I'm wishing one song. It was a very beautiful song. That was the very first song from this movie. I'm wishing one song. That was very beautiful. That was a very beautiful song. You know, that's the one that Snow White and the Prince sung. And yeah, and also, and another song with a smile in the song, where Snow White sung with the animals in the forest. That was another great song. And Whistle While You Work was another good song. And the most the most famous I Ho. I Ho is a very great song. And that's one of the best songs that this film is known for. The song I Ho, sung by the Seven Dwarfs. And also the song when they were when the dwarves were like washing their hands. That was another great song. And the Yellowing song where Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were dancing. That was another great song. And also Someday My Prince Will Come. Another very beautiful song. I love the song Someday My Prince Will Come. That was another beautiful song. And yeah, those are the songs. Songs for this movie. They're all great songs. And beautifully. And has a couple of beautiful. And has some very beautiful songs. Like I'm Wishing, With a Smile on the Song, and Someday My Prince Will Come. And yeah. Yeah, I think all the songs that Snow White have sung are very beautiful. I would say Adriana Casawati has a very beautiful singing voice. And yeah. Really enjoy this movie a lot. Is a masterpiece. I'm gonna say this. This film is an absolute masterpiece. And a great start for Disney animation. So yeah. And I know in March, on March 21st, 2025, this film is going to get a live action remake. That's right. Which would I go see the new Snow White, the live action remake? We'll see. I'm not sure, but some people saying that all of the seven dwarfs were pretty ugly. But yeah. People said the new Seven Dwarfs from the new Snow White live action remake looked really ugly. They look like hideous. But I like it. That's what people say. But yeah, I know not many people are looking forward for the live action remake that is coming out on March 21st, 2025. But I might go see it. If not, I'll wait until it comes out on Disney Plus. But yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, this film is gonna get a live action remake in a couple of months. So yeah. And also, can you believe that this film is almost a century year old? Yeah, this film is almost a century year old. Like, next decade is gonna be 100. Like, this film came out in 1937, and then around 2037, this film is gonna turn 100. This film will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2037. And I'm wondering if Disney is gonna theatrically re-release this film in theaters. I wonder. Do you think Disney will re-release Snow White on the big screen in 2037 to celebrate in honor of the 100th anniversary? I think so. I think so. I would love that, and I would be down to go see it in theaters to celebrate its 100th anniversary. But that's not going to be for another. That's not going to be in a long time. So maybe probably around 2037. That's like in the future. But yeah. Yeah, that will be in the near future. And that will be in the far future. Next in the 2030s. And of course, like I said, in 2037, this film will be celebrating its 100th anniversary. So yeah, this film is really old. It is almost a century-year old. Like, wow. It's been that long since this movie came out? And I will say, I'm pretty sure this film will be remembered for many years to come. Yeah. We'll say this film will be remembered for many generations to come. So yeah. Yeah. And yeah, this film, I'm sure, will be remembered in future generations and years to come. So, yeah. This movie has definitely changed movie history. Why? Because, like I said, this is the very first full-length animated feature. So, yeah. From 1937. So, yeah. Yeah, so, pretty cool. Snow White is a classic. And it will always be a classic. Like, you know, this is the very first full-length animated feature from 1947. I want to say this is one of the two movies, animated films, I know of that changed cinema history. Because, like, this film, because since it's the very first full-length animated film, and the first Toy Story, the first Toy Story that came out in 1995. Because since Toy Story was the very first full-length computer animated movie. But Snow White is the very first full-length animated film in general. Toy Story is the very first full-length animated film. Yeah, Toy Story is the first full-length computer animated film. And yeah, I already reviewed on Toy Story, so yeah. Now we're reviewing on the very first full-length animated film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a masterpiece. Great, like I said, great characters, great animation, great storytelling. Well, it is based on a fairy tale. And great songs and beautiful animation. So yeah, this film is very beautiful. Like especially at the ending with the castle where Snow White and the prince were in front of the castle at the very end. That was just so beautiful. Very beautiful animation. So, anyways, that's all I can say about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So, anyways, I'm gonna give Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs a 10 out of 10. There are absolutely no flaws with this film whatsoever. So anyways, that is it for my movie review on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Pinocchio. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.